laugh, like, subscribe.
A woman was telling her friend, "It was I who made my husband a millionaire." "And what was he before you married him?" asked the friend. The woman replied, "A multi-millionaire." A man was shaving in the bathroom when all of a sudden Bubba, the boy he paid to mow his lawn, comes in to take a piss. Well, the man can't help but look over his shoulder and he is surprised. "Bubba, what's your secret?" Bubba says, "Well, every night before I go to get in bed with a woman, I whack my dick on the bedpost 3 times. So the man decides to try it that very night. So he got to bed and whacked his dick on the bedpost 3 times, and the wife wakes up and says, "Bubba, is that you?" A man speaks frantically into the phone. "My wife is pregnant and her contractions are only 2 minutes apart." "Is this her first child?" the doctor queries. "No, you idiot," the man shouts. "This is her husband." 8 hours into his trial, Patty pleads guilty. "Why didn't you plead guilty at the beginning and save the court's time?" the judge demanded. "Well," Patty responded, "until I heard all the evidence, I thought I was innocent." A new teacher was trying to make use of her psychology courses. She started her class by saying, "Everyone who thinks they're stupid, stand up." After a few seconds, little Johnny stood up. The teacher said, "Do you think you're stupid, little Johnny?" "No, ma'am, but I hate to see you standing there all by yourself." There was a preacher who fell in the ocean and he couldn't swim. When a boat came by, the captain yelled, "Do you need help, sir?" The preacher calmly said, "No, God will save me." A little later, another boat came by and a fisherman asked, "Hey, do you need help?" The preacher replied again, "No, God will save me." Eventually, the preacher drowned and went to heaven. The preacher asked God, "Why didn't you save me?" God replied, "Fool, I sent you 2 boats." There were these 2 blondes, and they locked their keys in their car. The one blonde says to the other, "What do we do? Do we get a coat hanger and pick the lock?" The other one replied, "No, people will think we're trying to break in." The other one said, "Well, do we get a knife and cut the rubber and pop the lock?" The other one answered, "No, people will think we're too stupid to use the coat hanger." The other one said, "Well, we better think of something quick because it's starting to rain and the sunroof is open." 3 guys sit in a bar complaining about their wives. The first guy says, "My wife is so dumb, she carries an automatic garage door opener in her car and she doesn't have a garage door." The second guy says, "My wife is so dumb, she listens to an iPod and she doesn't have any earphones." The third guy says, "My wife is so dumb, she carries a Percy full of condoms and she doesn't even have a dick." "Doc, I think my son has VD," a patient told his urologist on the phone. "The only woman he's screwed is our maid." "Okay, don't be hard on him. He's just a kid," the medic soothed. "Get him in here right away and I'll take care of him." "But I've been screwing the maid too, and I've got the same symptoms he has." "Then you come in with him and I'll fix you both up," replied the doctor. "Well," the man admitted, "I think my wife has it too." "Oh crap," the physician roared. "That means we've all got it." I was on a train and this woman opposite looked at me and said, "Every time you smile, I feel like inviting you to my place." I asked, "Are you single?" She replied, "No, I'm a dentist." A woman announces to her friend that she is getting married for the 4th time. "How wonderful! But I hope you don't mind me asking what happened to your first husband?" "He ate poisonous mushrooms and died." "Oh, how tragic! What about your second husband?" "He ate poisonous mushrooms too and died." "Oh, how terrible! I'm almost afraid to ask you about your third husband." "He died of a broken neck." "A broken neck?" "He wouldn't eat the mushrooms." Walking into the bar, Mike said to Charlie the bartender, "Pour me a stiff one, just had another fight with the little woman." "Oh yeah?" said Charlie. "And how did this one end?" "When it was over," Mike replied, "she came to me on her hands and knees." "Really?" said Charles. "Now that's a switch. What did she say?" "She said, 'Come out from under the bed, you little chicken.'" An ugly, fat, bad woman with 2 kids enters Walmart, shouting angry at the kids with no reason. The man at the reception says cheerfully to her, "Good morning and welcome to Walmart. Cute kids. Are they twins?" The horrible woman stopped shouting, just enough to say, "Hell, they're not twins. The older is 9 and the other is 7. Are you blind or just stupid?" "No, madam. I'm neither blind nor stupid. I just can't get that there's a man out there who had sex with you twice." Woman at a maternity hospital is in a lot of pain, moaning. The man strokes her back. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart, that you have to endure this." She said, "Don't worry, Steve, it's not your fault." A woman walks into a drugstore and asks the pharmacist if he sells size extra large condoms. He replies, "Yes, we do. Would you like to buy some?" She responds, "No, sir, but do you mind if I wait around here until someone does?" A young woman was taking golf lessons and had just started playing her first round of golf when she suffered a bee sting. Her pain was so intense that she decided to return to the clubhouse for medical assistance. The golf pro saw her heading back and said, "You are back early? What's wrong?" "I was stung by a bee," she said. "Where?" he asked. "Between the first and second hole." He nodded and said, "Your stance is far too wide." While reading the newspaper, Walter came across an article about a beautiful actress and model who married a boxer who was not noted for his IQ. "I'll never understand," he said to his wife, "why the biggest jerks get the most attractive wives." His wife replied, "Thank you, dear."